Hey there, it's J-Rod here for Rich Retirement TV, and today I want to talk to you about a standout stock this earnings season. As you know, I'm a huge fan of earnings season. It's like Christmas 4 times a year, where we get a chance to look at public companies' quarterly results. Oftentimes, companies that beat on results for estimates for earnings and sales do very well. You see big one-day pops in those stocks, or even over the next 30 to 60 days or so, you see stocks that have done very well versus estimates do well. And again, there's always opportunity if you know where to find it. I know in the news you're seeing a lot of you're seeing sell-offs really, across the market, across assets, gold, copper, you name it. We're seeing a big sell-off here, but it's easy to say, okay, stocks are selling off. I should do the same. But this earnings season we've seen a big uptick in beat rates. Companies are doing much better than expected, and even though stocks are selling off a little bit, I see this as more of a profit taking and really a buying opportunity in really good stocks like the ones we talk about here at Rich Retirement TV. And again, if you've taken a look at my videos for a while, last quarter we took a look at a couple of stocks that did very, very well. This quarter we're going to keep doing the same thing, and without further ado, let's dig into my favorite stock for today. And let me adjust my window here. There we go. Cool. So today we're taking a look at Vocera Communications Incorporated. That's ticker VCRA. And you may know them. They've been around for a while as a smartphone maker. They went public back in 2012, and they didn't have a whole lot of success competing with the iPhone or the Android smartphones coming out from Sony or Samsung. But they've really, in the last couple of years, really focused their efforts on the healthcare segment. And they're makers of of smartphones that are specifically made for hospital settings. They make hands-free smart badges, which can give you access to places in hospital. They allow for hands-free communication, so if nurses or doctors need to communicate or receive alerts or alarms, they can do that without having to test their hands. And in the COVID world, that's a big deal. And Vocera back in July, they reported earnings, saw a 34% one-day pop as they reported some big some big expansion of business. It reported in that quarter a $2 million expansion of their business with the University of Texas Southwestern. They've also, in the previous quarter, signed on new customers such as the University of Arkansas Medical Center and South Coast Health. And this quarter, we should see a similar spike here. Again, COVID's not going anywhere. We may see a vaccine, we may see treatments come out, but it's very hard to say. Even the experts, I'm not an expert, but it's hard to see COVID just vanishing, and the need for protective equipment for frontline healthcare workers is really higher than ever, and Vocera meets that need with their products. And so if you take a look at the stock, what really caught my eye was that the stock popped yesterday on a down day. You take a look at the action over the last week or so, it hasn't been great in the markets, but Vocera, as you can see here, had a really nice day yesterday, and on way above average volume. That's what gets my eye. That's gets my attention. Kind of like, when you're listening to, your music on shuffle and you hear a really good song. Oh man, that's awesome. And that's what I saw here in Vocera. Taking a closer dive here. I love this breakout here above earnings. They report earnings on Thursday, October 29th. You see a big move right ahead of earnings. that tells you something special is going on here. And if you take a look here at the stock, let me get myself out of the way here. You see a real, like, two ranges kind of form here. Let me throw on my trend lines here. If you take a look, there we go. So we've got you've got a range here. Stock, over the last year or so, the stock has traded, or really from February to August or so, you see the stock mostly trade in a range between $26 and $18. That's an $8 range, right? We see back in July when they reported, Vocera reported earnings, stock exploded, making its way all the way up to 34, which is really the $8 range, on top of $26. It gives you 34, right? So you take a look at yesterday's action, after a big move, a pullback, and really finding support here at the 50-day moving average. That's that red line here. The stock heads back up to retest 34, consolidates a little bit, and then explodes above that 34, that resistance level here. And again, that breakout, that targets, you throw $8 above that $34 range, that gives you $42 as a new price target. That's 22% higher than where the stock closed yesterday. So we've got big potential here. In the last earnings call, the stock popped 34%. I'm not saying we were going to see the same move, but again, with the same momentum, the same factors that led to Vocera's big beat last quarter in play, we could see a similar action here. And really, you take a look at just the last, in terms of momentum, this isn't a one-off for Vocera here. You take a look at the momentum of the stock. The stock has performed very, very well against the NASDAQ and the Russell 2000. Vocera is a $1.1 billion company, so it's technically a small cap, but you take a look at the two benchmarks here. It is smoking. Vocera is up 82% over the last 6 months or so versus 30% move higher for the NASDAQ and a 25% bump in the Russell. So this is again a lot of momentum here pushing this stock higher. So I think you can make its way up to $42 a share, 22% upside. And you take a look at just the earnings. As an earnings season player, it's beaten expectations in 2 of the last 4 quarters on an earnings estimates. But in terms of sales, the company has reported 7 straight quarters of sales beats. So the company's done better than expected on revenue, even though maybe not as great on the earnings. But still, as posting in the one day after earnings announcements, the stock posts on average a 9, almost 10% gain in one day after the announcement, and then in the 1 week afterwards, about a 10% plus gain. So a lot to love here. If you're looking at the stock ahead of the earnings announcement, you have a potential for a big one-day pop. If you're looking at the stock over the next say week or so, you still got a nice nice room there for a gain. So again, this Vocera's a stock I really like right now. Plenty of love here in the stock, and as we continue the rest of earnings season. Ticker here, VCRA. Take a closer look. And thanks so much for watching today's video. I'm J-Rod for Rich Retirement TV, and I'll see you next week.